What's good, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the TheStankCast. I'm on the couch, joined once again by the wonderful Craig Cowie. Craig, say hello to people.
What's happening, people?
What's happening, everybody? It's another beautiful week. We are back again. There's plenty of topics to talk about. We're going to touch on a few things. What do we think? I've already drawn a blank. What are things we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the UFC at some point. We'll touch on Strickland versus Duplessis.
Yeah.
There was also, I saw a lot of people on Twitter comparing American football to rugby. So we can talk about that a little bit because you're ex-rugby player.
Yeah.
Not professional or anything, but still.
Nah, far from it. I was barely even good, never mind professional.
He was just big and could run, man.
Yeah, I couldn't run, I was just big.
What else were we going to talk about? There was
I had some issues that I needed to bring up.
Kevin wanted to get his
got some things to get off my chest.
Scrolling through TikTok and he's found himself wound up to the point
I've allowed social media to purposely anger me by showing me all the things that it knows are going to piss me off this week.
Yeah.
I normally don't, but this week I've allowed it to.
There's a lesson there. Don't worry about that. There's a lesson there.
Social media is trying to make you angry.
Don't spend too much time on it. But listen to the pod.
Yeah.
We'll kick things off. We'll go on with the UFC that happened.
Yeah, because you definitely had another thing, but I've forgotten it too.
Yeah, we've also got Jake here. Jake's behind the scenes. Jake,
yo.
Currently getting attacked by the cat.
Attacked, yeah. Yeah, Jake's behind the scenes. He's going to be doing some research on that for us. When you should have some of the tabs up there. What were some of the topics we had at the top there?
Oh yeah, you had Wade's football.
That was it.
That was the football version.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Wade Clem, the commentator for he used to be the commentator for Misfits and stuff like that. He was recently the cat is in the background just doing mad stuff.
Parkour.
Wade was on X comparing. He said soccer because he's American. He said soccer was the easiest sport to learn and play. Jake, what did he say?
He said, I've said this for a while, soccer is one of the easiest sports to play. Now that doesn't mean at the top of the sport it's easy at all. It's not. At world level you are 1% athlete. Not everyone can play it at that level, of course. But I do agree it's one of the easier sports to learn and play.
No, I don't agree with that at all. But that was in response to Dana White saying he hated soccer.
Yeah, go and play the Dana White thing.
Alright, play the Dana White video. Yeah, go for it.
Untalented you have to be to score 3 points when the net is this big. Now in hockey, you have guys on skates, right?
Wait, start the video again.
Yeah, start the video again.
Can't stand soccer.
There you go.
I think that it's the least talented sport on earth. There's a reason 3-year-olds can play soccer, okay? Run around and kick a ball. Yeah, Landsberg said, you wouldn't say that if you were Brazil. I said, dude, I say this in every country. When you're playing a game where the net is this big and the score is 3-1, are you shitting me right now? You know how untalented you have to be to score 3 points when the net is this big? Now in hockey, you have guys on skates, right? With crooked sticks where they have to hit a puck into a net that's the same size as the goalie, okay? That's a sport that the score should be 3-1.
So, which on that point is difficult for me because I played both sports, right? Yeah. And I love ice hockey to death. I love ice hockey. So I can almost agree that there is a higher difficulty playing on the ice, learning how to skate, and shooting into a net that is that size with a goalkeeper that big.
Do they not shoot more regularly in hockey? Bear in mind, I feel like hockey, you could fall and slide the full length of the fucking pitch, whereas football is much, much, much bigger.
Well,
so it's harder to get to the goal. It's harder to get to the goal in football, but
absolutely, and there's only 5. It's a totally different sport. So you're comparing oranges and apples here.
You're also the goalies in hockey are dressed up
massive padded.
Yeah, they can barely move.
They fill the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you put a footballer on that, there's no chance he's diving for top right bins.
Another point to that is it just shows how talented the goalkeepers are in professional football because how far they can reach.
Yeah.
To stop the balls going in.
Like I said to you earlier, my problem with that is that comparatively to any other sport, especially sort of American football and rugby, it's way easier to catch a ball in your hands and just run with it. It's to pick something up and run, or catch something and run is way easier than dribbling with your feet. However, I think the basics of other sports are easier, but after that, it's different because obviously there's violence involved in some of the other sports, whereas football, not so much.
But that doesn't make the sport like difficult to play. Just because there's like each sport has its different aspects, so it makes it difficult to play, right? In football, it's not a case of just get the ball. Have you seen Dana White try and kick a ball?
Yeah, but like in football, you don't have to say like only pass backwards. Like in rugby, you can't pass the ball forward. Yeah. In football, you can. You kick it to whoever you fucking want. In rugby, they have to be behind you.
Of course.
So there's way more tactile gameplay to like how you get up the pitch, considering you can't just go that way. Like everything has to go that way to get that way. So for that sense, I think that requires more strategy. It requires a little bit more skill. Like you can't just go, right, I'll put myself right in front of the goal, just kick it to me up there.
But it's not a case of that in football.
No, but the idea is like I need it in the ball.
What did you say?
Saying you'd be offside. There's a lot.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like the defenders are still as far back as the goal. Like you could effectively, which some of the teams do, is just keep passing it up the wing and then swing it in and score a goal. In rugby, you can't just keep running it up the wing and then throw it to somebody and score. Like you have to go backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards until you get there.
Well, when you get to professional level of football, I understand they're talking about at the basic level it's the easiest sport in it. Obviously,
That's the bit I disagree with.
Even Dana White is saying it's he hates it. He's saying he hates it completely. I think Wade is only saying at the start it's the easiest sport to learn, which is what I disagree with.
Yeah, I disagree with that bit too.
Because running with a ball at your feet is so difficult. Like, I played football from the age of like 5, 6. No, maybe later actually. I was probably 8 or 9 because I played ice hockey before that.
Right.
So from the age of 8 and 9, and running with the ball at your feet is so hard. Like, I didn't really learn to dribble until I was about 11 or 12. A lot of it was just the ball was kicked, you ran at the ball, you kicked it, you ran for the ball again. That was it. I think sense of it is easy, but that's not football.
I think football takes the most skill to begin with, but then as it gets on, maybe takes a little bit less than the other ones. So that's my opinion. Because like, see in American football, for example, like in football, when you're trying to run up the wing to score a goal, no one's trying to fucking wipe you out. Like people are trying to kick the ball from you, but you don't have to run the risk of someone grabbing you and like piling your face into the ground. Whereas in American football, like you've got to worry about the running, you've got to worry about the passing, and you've also got to worry about that guy you're running towards is trying to fucking hurt you. Like he's a way to put you on. He's not just going to try and take the ball off you. He's going to put you on the ground. What are you saying, buddy? So for me, that like there's a lot more danger. I think it requires more skill in that form. I think. No, on the laptop. I think football is harder to begin with because, like I say, it's a lot more skill to kick a ball around your feet than it is to catch a ball. But like later than that, like there's less risks to what's going to happen, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's less.
So I'm actually like trying to like stop the cat from standing on all the cables and messing everything up. So,
but for me, like, what did Wade say again? Go back on Wade's tweet. You just went past it.
No, yeah, it's there. What does it say?
I said this for a while. Soccer is one of the easiest sports to play. Now, that doesn't mean at the top of the sport it's easy at all. It's not. At world level, you are 1% athlete. Not everyone can play it at that level, of course. But I do agree it's one of the easiest sports to play, to learn and play. So,
right? See if like you got your basic average everyday group of guys. Say even if you're at Thanksgiving, let's say for America, right? So you're at Thanksgiving dinner, you all go outside, right?
Yeah.
How easy is it to get a ball, stand in a line, and somebody run forward and throw it? It's just as easy.
Yeah, but
it's just as easy to do that. To go outside in the garden and throw a ball about.
I agree. It's just as easy to do that. But someone's trying to fucking tackle you. Like someone's trying to like actually hurt you and get the ball off you, not just get the ball off you.
Yeah, but anyone can literally, any of us could go rock up to one of these Thanksgiving parties, right, as a guest, and go outside and join in a game of American football.
Yeah, because but anyone could join in a game of football too.
Yeah, but no, they can't, because if you got Americans over here who've never played football, I've never played American football, right? But I could go over there, run and catch a ball and avoid getting hit. I could. I don't know. Sharp. I could easily. You're absolutely disrespecting my athleticism.
I'm not disrespecting your athleticism, but like from playing rugby, it's not.
I played rugby actually. Too. I did for 2 years.
Not on my level, bro.
I played in the same team as them.
Yeah, the high school team. I played for a real team as well.
I played for Montrose. I've got the tie and everything at home.
Oh, bro, I played for like 5 different teams.
Yeah, well, you played for
better
like
ones.
6
North
years.
Angus, bro. You know.
Journeyman for a reason.
Anyway, getting off the point.
Not just Montrose, all of North Angus.
Getting away from Cowie's ego, right?
So, no.
I could easily go over there and avoid being hit run forward and catch a ball. I could.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm not disrespecting you, but I don't see it.
I don't think you could not get hit. Of people, in a random group of adults just playing American football, you don't think I can avoid a tackle?
Well, it depends, because then in a random group of people that football that don't play football, I could probably skin a couple of them too.
This is what I'm saying.
I want to see
a
this.
Random American come over, right? Who's never played football before, and try and watch him kick a fucking ball. It's not like passing a ball 5 yards. He can't do it.
That's dependent on the people, though, again, because I bet you would, because
that's not what we're put.
To counter this, what you're saying is you could,
the average person, right? The average American person, if he was to come over here after never playing a game of football and try and kick a ball, it'd be fucking terrible. I've watched a million YouTube videos of Americans trying to kick a football.
The average British person, if they went over there and tried to run with American football, would get tackled. Yeah, would get fucking spanked.
Yeah, they would maybe, but they would still be able to run forward with the ball in their hands.
And the Americans would be able to run forward with the ball at their feet, just poorly.
But they would still get tackled.
Yeah, and so would the UK people. They would still get tackled too.
Yeah, I'm refuting your point because it doesn't mean anything. You can still kick, like, Americans come on over here, the ball rolls to them, right? Yeah, so the ball rolls to them, right? And then they totally whiff it. They miss the ball. That's not them. They can't. It's not easy for them to do that. But if you were to stand in the lineup, right, and the ball got hiked and thrown to you, you could catch it. The average person would catch a ball being thrown at them.
I'm gonna say you should know from playing rugby actually at school that that's not the case. Most of the people, if you throw them a ball, they fucking dropped it.
You're actually being earth dropped. You're being earth dropped in this situation, mate. You actually are.
So you want another
I think some people can't catch and some people can't kick.
So another spanner in the clogs here for you guys to debate. It says here, according to Google, that running is one of the easiest sports in the world.
Running.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine that, because you don't have to kick or throw or catch anything.
Not everyone
just
can do that.
Just move.
So but not everyone can do that. So how would that be the easiest?
What do you mean not everyone can do it?
Well, you can't see like obese people.
Yeah, but they're not going to do any sport, bro. Not like if there's any sport they will manage, it's the running. Because if they can't do the run, then they can't do any of the other ones.
The first thing people do to lose weight,
to do a sport, is to run.
No, walk before run.
Yeah, but you don't get any walking sports. Well, they're doing their darts and snooker. That's not a sport. I'm sorry.
Funnily enough, over
I'm going back to my point.
Yeah,
right. Sorry, Jake. I'm going back to my point there.
Yeah.
American football. If you would hike the ball, a 5-10 yard hike to you, you could catch the ball and at least make it 5 fucking yards. 5-10 yards, right? If an average American got past the ball to them, do you think they would be able to control the ball and make it 5 to 10 yards without being tackled in a game of football?
No, but I don't think the vice versa is the case either. Like,
so you don't I don't believe.
No, but I think an American person of your same idea could come here and probably take a touch and quickly kick a ball forward. My personal belief is, right, that if you the average person, like, I've seen people that don't know how to play sports trying to catch, bro. It's hilarious. Like, your average person that doesn't play a sport probably wouldn't catch a pass from fucking 5 meters, same as they wouldn't take a touch of a ball from 5 meters. They'd fumble that shit, especially a funny shaped American football and stuff.
I think you're taking away from my point here is that Americans don't play football. Like, the Americans that don't play football and haven't kicked a ball and they just instantly think it's the easiest sport to play.
Okay.
Right? They haven't tried to
I'm with you on this one.
Right? Yeah. So they haven't experienced it, because when you see them try and kick a ball, you can see how awkward it is for them.
Yeah.
And so that instantly shows you, like, you even made the point yourself. The first natural thing for your hands to do it when someone comes at you is to catch it.
It doesn't mean people can do it, though. Call me devil's advocate, why don't you?
I'd like for one time for us to agree on something, and it just never happens.
So I'm going to agree on definitely, like, football for me is definitely harder. The basic concepts of football are way harder to learn than the basic concepts of American football. I'll give you that. Like, it's harder to understand how to, say, like, dribble a ball than it is to know how to just run with one under your arm.
Yeah,
100% agree on that. I was also just being a bit of devil's advocate there, mate. You know me. And so I completely agree with you on that one. And I think, your average person is definitely more likely to be able to catch a ball and run forward than to take a touch and run forward. What I'm saying is, I think your average person is going to be shite at either.
Yeah, probably, right? But I'm not saying take the professional.
I know what you're saying. You're saying if you take an average person that, even say someone that hasn't done any sport, they're more likely to be able to catch a ball. They're more likely to be able to catch a ball and run than they are to dribble a ball and run. Yeah, I agree completely.
That's the core point. That's what I'm saying. And what Wade was saying was that at its basic level, it's the easiest sport to learn and play.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't agree with
I disagreed with that at the
all.
beginning, though, so that's fine. I'm with you on that one. That's just fun. I just liked being the other side.
You definitely were being earth-dropped there. You're being very earth-dropped.
Yeah, but this time I was right. That was...
No.
Like I say, I totally agree with you. Like, the basic concepts of football are way harder. I just think your average person's going to be shite either. I think your average person that can't take a touch also probably isn't going to catch a ball.
Well, you've got to take the average person who plays sports then. Not just the average, every human. Average person that at least plays a sport. Yeah, average sports person then. Do you think a cricketer, right, would be able to...
That's a ball sport that involves catching, though, so that's not fair. You can't gauge a ball sport that involves catching against another catcher.
Really different
that's
why.
That's why you can't really. No, but not really. It's still understanding the concept of eye to
ball.
Well,
it's a different style of catching. Like the ball.
Then that's like being like, okay, so take the average kicker that kicks a ball. They're definitely going to be better at football than thingy.
When I'm talking there, wasn't thinking about the catchers,
right?
Who in American football who are running and catching. Yeah, that's probably. The same
you may be thinking about the guy that hits the ball.
Well, no, I was thinking
more
of...
what sport were we talking about there?
Well, I was talking about cricket.
Yeah, cricket,
and American football. But I wasn't talking about the American football runners who run and catch the ball. I was more talking about them running with the ball. So maybe that's not such... But the average sports person, right? Mm-hmm. I think it would be easier for them to play a game of American football with their mates rather than them to be... easier than them to all just play a game of football. But that might be different view because we're from this country and we play football. Like when I grew up, I played football every single day.
See, yeah, for me, I get what you're saying. I just don't know. I think like because of the way you play them, it's like they each have their difficulties. Like I'm 100. Like I say, all jokes aside, apart from like fucking disagreeing with you, but like all jokes aside, you're totally right. Like you're totally right in the sense that like it's going to be like they'll look more goofy watching 11 people that haven't played football try and play football than it would be watching 11 people that haven't played American football try and play American football. Like it would probably look better. However, but there is actually on the real when I'm saying there's no difference, I actually meaning it this time. It's all going to depend because like I say, for football, they're gonna look goofy as fuck kicking the ball around, but they can effectively just kick the ball around to each other. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if they all play American football together, even though if they're playing actual American football together, they do have to. There's more rules to abide by that's going to make that more of a difficult scenario. Like say rugby, like they would have to only be passing it backwards. They can't throw it forwards. They're tackling each other, which is another element that you don't. Like it's easier for me to try and stick my foot in you and kick the ball out of your feet than it is for me to fucking perform a crisp single leg to take you down if it's a... Do you know what I mean? So, like I say, devil's advocate aside, you are right, but on that side, like, if you're on about actually playing a game, yeah, I think they'd be both equally as hopeless at either or. But you are right about the dribbling. Dribbling is definitely going to be harder than catching and running.
Yeah, I could probably agree with you to some point. Like, the actual aspect of playing the game, I believe, is more difficult for football, but the actual learning of the rules and everything...
Yeah,
football's probably one of the easiest.
They'd struggle to play a full game of American football. American football. They'd struggle more to play a full game of American football than a full game of football because of the physicality of it. However, the techniques involved are debatably harder for football.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good topic. Yeah. See, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. But, are you happy now I agreed with you?
I'm just happy that you agreed you were being a dick. That's more like
you should know me for long enough to know that that's probably a going thing. I'm probably trying to be a dick, you know.
Yeah, well, that's probably like social media keeps feeding you all the things.
It does.
It wind you up because they know it's
because I love it. Because I fucking love it.
You were talking to me about that actress though.
Oh yeah, not so love it so much. So
because it was someone.
Yeah, to put into fucking perspective, my favourite TV programme, as anyone who knows me, I'll know, is Big Bang Theory. It's comfort TV. I get in from work, it goes on the TV. When I'm cooking, it's on the TV, just all the time. If I'm stressed out, I'll fucking put it on, I'll chill and watch a bit of Big Bang Theory.
Mine's just The Last Kingdom, not that anyone else.
Jake, out of interest? Favourite TV programme?
Don't really watch TV a lot. No, I would rather have a podcast on in the background, to be honest.
In that case, favourite TV programme's TheStankCast. Anyway, that's for Jake, eh? Yeah. So, basically, there's Amy Farrah Fowler, for anybody that watches it. She's Sheldon's girlfriend. And now, I'm not going to get too into the technicalities of this, but when it comes to this, the whole Israel-Palestine thing, I'm pretty hardcore Palestinian side. Pretty against the Israelis. not against actually the Israelis, I'm against the Zionists. But again, I'm not going to get deep into that. That's a whole other podcast scenario. But she posted a video on social media, like basically saying that all they basically wanted was for them to just kill all the Jews, and that people just hated Jews and wanted to kill all the Jews, and that was what was going on here. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart, and now every time I put it on, I have such a great time, and then their face pops up, and I still love her, but I think to myself, I just don't know how to feel. But yeah, I just look at her, I'm like, damn, you're tough to look at now, because I feel like not actually, that sounded really harsh.
Yeah,
look at you, but like I watch it and I'd be like, oh god damn it, like I regarded you so highly in such like a mad ethical way and in an intellectual way. I regarded you so far up there, and now
from a TV show,
like everybody can be wrong about something. So you know what I mean? And evidently that's just going to be one of the things that she's wrong about, unfortunately. I mean, she's a lot smarter than me, but I'm still going to tell her she's wrong about it.
It's not like you just watch her from the show. You actually like.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. Follow her on social media.
She's a scientist in real life.
Yeah, she does some videos and like talks and stuff where she talks about like neuroscientific stuff, and like there was one she was talking about like obviously how she deals with like how she brings up her children and stuff like that, and how some of the methods she uses might be different to us. Like she has loads of different videos about like mental stuff that she does. So I do like a lot of stuff. So it was just sad to be like, I thought like I regard you as an actual very, very intelligent person, and now it's just hearing that's made me think, damn, was I right?
I'll have to look up that video later on.
As I say, it's each to everyone's opinion anyway. I just think if you're of the same opinion as her, you're wrong. So
I'm so uninformed about the situation that I can't even make it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to bring it up, because it would take too much intense conversation. Like I spend a lot
for me not to be on.
I spend a lot of my time
as
looking
an
into
educated
it, so
like.
What are you trying to say?
No, I'm saying it's like it dwells.
I've got strong feelings.
You have to properly research that if you're going to have any input. I think you have to.
It takes up a lot of my time researching Israel and Palestine, like reading and seeing all the stuff that's going on and things like that, and how much lying there's been around it has been wild. Like. But it's like anything nowadays. I was saying this, that like it's crazy nowadays how people like even in government and that can like flat out just lie, and then we're like, you lied, and they're like, yep, and then nothing happens. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they lied about something. It was like, right, you got fucking, there's something happened. Whereas now it's like they clean just say something, do another thing. People are like, you said you were going to do this, and they go, yeah, but we didn't. And you go, well, you can't do that, and they go, but we did. And they go, yeah, okay. And it's nothing happens.
Yeah, it's like they get voted in. They don't do what they want. They don't do what they promised that they were going to do.
Yeah.
So normally they would get voted out.
Yeah.
But
or they would be held accountable.
Yeah. Like, and then they would get voted out, and then they wouldn't be voted back in for years.
Yeah.
But then it's like the next people then lie, and then the next people then lie, and it keeps going like that. So we keep trying to vote new people in.
But then now they don't even get voted out when they lie.
And that's what I'm saying. Now they're Labour's in it, and they keep finding a way to keep themselves in it. They do.
Well, it's the Tories.
Sorry. And they keep merging with people, don't they? Who did they try and merge with? The Green Party?
No, they had one of the last.
That's how uninformed.
Before it was the Conservatives, it was a coalition government with the Tories and
Lib Dems.
No, wait, was it Lib Dems? Oh fuck, I can't remember. This was a lot of years ago. We've had Tories for the last like 8 years or something like that. But
just type in on Google who was the
put the last coalition. Put most recent UK coalition, and it'll tell you.
I'm sure it was Lib Dem.
I think you might be right, Conservatives and Lib Dems, because it was fucking Mr. I like to create wars in Iraq. That was the one that was fucking, and then Rishi Sunak has appointed him as, like the head of one of his cabinets now or something like that. Even after the one that was in just before Theresa May.
This is why I don't like to even have a like
I don't know that much about that. Like,
it would just wind me up, and then I would get like infuriated with the way life is if I was to.
Yeah, like I've only seen small bits of that. Like I don't tend to look too much into like politics because
sometimes ignorance is bliss.
That's screaming to get me angry.
Cameron Clegg coalition.
Yeah, the Nick Clegg and Cameron. But what were their political parties? Liberal Democrats and the Conservatives.
It's not actually came up.
Just type in what parties were included.
That's gonna. I don't think that's what was gonna come up. But
you should have typed in what parties were included in the coalition.
It should tell you there. It'll say Nick Clegg is part of the something, and Nick Cameron.
Conservative and Liberal.
Yeah, Liberal Dem. Yeah, okay. So you were right. Fair. But yeah, like I say, politics is something I try and not look towards because I used to, and it did nothing other than anger me. Yeah, I just got mad reading it, so I don't bother anymore.
Try reading all that. It just gives you a headache looking at it.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Politics is not my thing, man.
Anyway, I've come off. I'll be the one to bring it back full circle here again. This was about Amy Farrah Fowler. Yeah, mate, I'm bringing it back this time.
I'm impressed.
Mental. So, I still absolutely love her, but it was a fucking wee chip in my heart. It was. It really upset me a lot. It really did upset me. Someone I regarded really highly, having what I considered to be a horrific opinion on something. Just it hurt.
Well, probably just misinformation for her, or
it could be misinformation for me. Like I could be totally wrong.
That was literally just what I was ready to say.
Yeah, I might have this whole scenario completely wrong, but I can't see it.
It seems like a lot of people are on the Palestinian side.
Every one of her comments was being like, "Wow." Well, it was like people like genuinely just shocked, being like, "I actually thought you were really intelligent. I can't believe you've got this opinion."
I don't get involved in these types of things because I just don't like learning about them because I don't like what goes on. Like it would really anger me if I was to find out the ins and outs of what was going on, and how corrupt people are, and it would really get to me. The reason I've been so deep into it is I think because of that. It's like the more I've read about it, the more like disturbing it is, and like the more it's like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. No one can almost put you into a depression. Mate, why do you think I've been off the last fucking couple of weeks? Yeah. That's a lot of it. That's been part of it because like seeing all this stuff, it's like I know I'm choosing to read it, but it's like kids and babies dying here, there, and everywhere, and all this kind of stuff that's always going on, and they're doing it like willfully and on purpose and shit. And then it's like, you read more and more stuff, and it's like it's almost so shocking that you're like, oh my god, like this can't be real. And you go and check, and you're like, it is real. And then you get caught, and then next minute you've spent 2 weeks, like, well, almost months now, just like hard devil, like since obviously October the 7th. At least minimum was when it first kicked off. You know what I mean? But then there's like learning all about there was stuff that was happening on October the 6th before. That is the reason that led up to it, but no one pays attention to that because it's not like it's all mental. But I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, it's encompassed a large proportion of my life over the last like couple months. Yeah, it's what I'm for the first time there. I'm thankful I'm so busy. Like, I'm thankful I'm at work all the time because you've got a lot of free time at night to like. I know you go to the gym and that, but you still have free time. Yeah, but it's like on my breaks at work, on my lunch at work. Yeah, every time like you're on your phone, when I get home from work before I go to the gym, when I get back from the gym, it's like that's the stuff I'll look at. So that's wild. I can't believe you delve. So I've never. That's why. That is genuinely why I don't research these types of things because it would wind me up and it would upset me because. Not a lot of stuff grips me like this though, but it's the pure shock of it is what's gripped me, being like, I can't believe no one knows about this. Like, or people do, but they're just like, oh yeah, there's bad stuff happening. It's like, nah, there's like a literal genocide going on, like, and nobody's. And people think raising money is just the only way. Yeah, like no, because then the money goes to usually to the people that are fucking the place up. Do you know what I mean? People used to go and do things like back in the day. You would be able to go to a country and help. Yeah. But nowadays, a lot of people just send money. Yeah. And that money never goes to where you need to see it. And the charities are all corrupt, so half of them are keeping all the money, and it's it's irrelevant. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in the world that could easily depress you if you let it. If you got yourself delved deep in it enough. But yeah. But that anyway, I'm actually not going to talk because this is getting very on the point where if somebody will start just telling me I'm fucking anti-Semitic or something like that. I'm not about that. Like I've got nothing against Jews. I don't like Zionists. That's what my problem is. But anyway, it's don't tell me. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you because it'll come across anti-Semitic if I try and explain it in the right way. Maybe I'll go and just research it by myself. I wouldn't. Nah, don't, mate. You'll fucking just make yourself sad, man. I'm not going to. I was just going to say so we can move on. You'll make yourself mad emotional. But anyway, so Amy Farrah Fowler, look what you've done. Sort yourself out. Well. While we're talking about favourite TV shows, I mentioned mine is The Last Kingdom. Yeah. And I love The Last Kingdom. I've watched it maybe 6 times. Give me the premise. I know you briefly explained earlier, but I'm not going to lie. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about something else. Jake, tell me who wrote it. Tell me who wrote it. Just type in Google. He's got it. He's got it right there. He was ready. It's just not coming up. The cat's attacking, destroying something in the kitchen. Beans. Come on. Cookies. There he goes. Come on. Just right. I'll say writer. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's a good boy. Mate, just Google it. It doesn't even. Oh, he's a good boy. You would think. So the last, while he's finding it, Steve, give me a premise. Explain the basis of the. Yeah. So whoever the writer is, right? He wrote it. He wrote it based off of a true story about his ancestors. Okay, where's it from? Where's it set? What country? England. Okay. So this is the time of the Vikings invading England. Okay. And it's about Uhtred of Bebbanburg. I don't know if it is his real name actually. And Bebbanburg was a castle on the very north of England. Bebinburg.
It's renamed now, though.
Yeah, it's all been renamed now. Yeah.
What's it named now?
Yeah, what's it called now?
Bemor or something.
Bemor, right? Okay.
Probably butchering that now, like.
It's English, bro. You probably aren't.
But it's in the north of England, and it was very close to the. It was very close to the Scotland and England border, so it had a lot to do with defending against the Scots.
Okay.
And it was one of the first places that was invaded by Vikings, and it's a story of a boy who was raised as an Englishman until he was about 10, 11. His dad they were invaded by the Vikings. His dad went to fight the Vikings. Died. Was left alone, and the kid got angry, goes out to the battlefield where his younger brother's going to then fight. His older brother, is now going to fight the Vikings, and the young brother sneaks out with him, gets captured, gets taken to the Vikings as a prisoner, and he's raised by the Vikings. And
bro, this sounds mint.
Yeah, but
it's a good set.
The English dad was really like mean to him and like really hard, and like, he was a proper lord. He was just like really tough with him. And then when he came to the Vikings, he became part of their family, and he liked the way they lived with freedom and
treated them a bit nicer.
But he was a slave at the start, and then they take him in, and then shit happens to that family, and then it's him and another girl called. Oh my god!
Have you found the writer yet, Jake?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Breda. Her name is Breda.
Okay.
And Breda was a young girl in the castle with him, in the English castle, and she was taken prisoner too.
Okay, at the same time as him?
Yeah, so they've grown up together their whole lives, and then, he's half Viking, half Englishman. He's trying to fight for his land back because his uncle tries to kill him because he's the rightful heir. So his family dies apart from his uncle. His uncle has the castle now. His uncle won't give up the castle, so he's been trying to kill.
It's giving Lion King vibes.
Yeah, he's been trying to kill his nephew. Yeah. His nephew's now grown up. And he's trying to get the castle back, but everything keeps getting in the way. It's at the time of King Edward.
How many seasons we're talking?
6. Show me. Tell me.
How many seasons and how many episodes per season, Jake?
8. 2 seconds, we'll go back.
But it's honestly like Game of Thrones vibes, but it's just better.
Yeah,
it's just better. Less
penetration, more penetration.
Oh, less. I would say less. Yeah, less for sure. But there's a movie on it now as well. Like, so they did a series, and then they did a movie, and then they finished it off, I believe. But I've watched it through
wait a minute.
6 or 7 times.
The movie.
Yeah, there was like.
Yeah, I think I've maybe.
There was like a Last Kingdom movie, and that's like I'm not going to tell you the premise of that because
that sounds good actually. I genuinely actually did watch that. That sounds good.
And like a lot of the stuff, like the characters are actual people in history, and it all ties in together. It's just really good. And like, you know how Wessex was the last remaining English kingdom when the Vikings attacked. So the Vikings were taken over everywhere, and then they made an agreement with Wessex to the Vikings to have half of England, and they called it Danelaw, sorry.
Okay.
So that was where the Danes lived with the English people, but they kept attacking all the English cities. The only place they couldn't go was
the English what?
They kept attacking all the English cities. What did I say?
Titties. You keep attacking the English titties.
Titties. They kept doing that too, bro. Did swear.
I'll bet they did.
Those Vikings, man.
Mate.
They definitely laid their seed.
Murdering titties, I'll tell you.
But, so they kept attacking cities and stuff like that. The only place they didn't go was Wessex. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. It's just my favorite.
Yeah, no, that's a history lesson as well. I'm intrigued, but do you know what? It's one thing that I've always thought that I've not we got obviously Scottish history in school, like the generals of some of the battles between Scotland and England and things like that. But like the whole being invaded by like Vikings and all that stuff. Like I've
Scotland didn't really get invaded because they tried to invade
the Celts.
Yeah, because we were just.
But even that, with being England somewhere so close, that did affect us in some way. But I've never learned about any of that in school. Mm-hmm. Like any of the Danes and stuff like that, or Vikings, or anything like that coming over.
Like, I have looked up the history of some of the kings, but not from any recent time. Like not within like the last like 300-400 years. It's been like ages ago where it was like King Edward and stuff like that, because that's where he brought England together. England was 4 different counties originally. It was Northumbria, Wessex, East Anglia.
High five.
High five, dude. Northumbria, East Anglia, Wessex, and I can't remember the last one.
See, like I did.
It begins with M.
Midlands.
No.
Middlesbrough.
No.
East Midlands.
What you saying, bro?
No. What were type in? What were the 4 original English? What was England originally split up into?
Is this why when people said I'll send you the four corners of the world, that's all they meant, the four corners of England? Because that's all they thought existed.
Probably. It was East Anglia, Mercia.
Jesus.
Mercia.
We said Mercia.
No, it was East Anglia, Mercia, Wessex, and Northumbria. Those were the four things it was broken up into, and they all had kings, and the kings were like fighting against each other for somebody to become the king. And King Edward is the one who What?
Athelstan, the king.
That was his son. That was King Edward's son. King Edward got all the English thingies together. He made it possible for his son to become the first king or the second king of England, I think. Okay. I think King Edward originally became the king of England, and then his son took over.
He was the one that merged it all
Yeah, he brought it all together. He was
like that? Not a clue.
Yeah,
did not know that.
It's honestly
did not know that.
It's really good stuff too. And it's like
English.
I was watching Vikings at the same time.
Wait a minute. You're a Rangers fan, mate.
Aye, absolutely.
I still
Rule
say that.
Britannia,
That's his fucking red, white, and blue.
Fuck English. Scottish and proud.
You know wearing Union Jacks and that, no?
Nah, no, they
Hey, your team's colour's the Union Jack, is it no?
You've got a Union Jack in your window, man. Flag hanging in the window of that, bro.
William Wallace.
This boy's a unionist, you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Brexit and
Josh
Brexit.
will get on great.
So but I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, that actually sounds really good. That sounds actually good.
5 seasons.
5 seasons.
Total of 46 episodes.
Yeah, so just shy. It's like 8 or something.
And then there's a movie at the end. And then
it unites the 7 kings or something.
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
unites it all, kind of like.
Yeah, that's the final thing. Brings
You've
it
hooked
together.
me. Yeah, I'm engaged now.
I'm shocked that you've not actually.
Nah, honestly.
Have you watched the whole thing? Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? And then I was watching Vikings at the same time.
Watching it.
And what I was finding really interesting is there was characters in both of them that were the same people, which I loved. It was just like
so you can join it together.
Yeah,
okay,
you were like
feel like it's the same thing.
Yeah, kind of, but it wasn't. It was
like that's him from back then.
Yeah,
they had like the same personality traits.
They had the same not personality traits in that, just the same character, like the same name and the same person was him, but they were portrayed different in both ones because you can't tell someone's personality. You can
Skida.
Is it Skida from The Last Kingdom?
Yeah.
Reminds me of Lagartha. What? I'm probably butchering Lagartha.
Lagartha.
Reminds me
Lagartha
of
Christie.
What?
A wee bit. Like I don't know. It's just the characters remind me of each other.
Oh, fair. But that might just be because writing, you can only write so many characters a certain way. But a lot of the actual people, the physical, a lot of the Norse people will be made up, Jake. They'll only be the ones that are the large ones, like the kings, the sons of Ragnar and stuff like Rollo and Ivar. They were real people. Ivar the Terrible, the boneless was a real person. Yeah. So they'll be real, but Lagartha and that might not be real. I'm not sure if she is, to be honest.
That's mental. Like, there's another guy like that you know about. Like, they play the same character. So you know in the Fast and Furious movie, the guy that plays Hector.
No.
See if you go and look at his go and Google this one, Jake. So, no, he's like Mexican. Google Hector from Fast and Furious, right? And honestly, if you look at the movies he plays the same guy in every movie, and his name's usually Hector.
Is it Tech Guy?
No. He plays like the same guy. Him, the guy with the Tashna, and people know who it is.
Running north.
But if you go find out his name, like that guy, click his name and go and look at his previous roles. Go and look at all his roles. He is the same guy in every fucking movie. It's mental, and he's been in loads. Yeah, look, is that all the movies, Jake?
Gang leader, gangster thug, Latino convict, mafia soldier, street thug.
And his name, if you look at all of them, his name's usually like the same thing in all of them. It's Hector.
It doesn't say the name, but it just gives you the role.
Yeah, it's mental. He plays just that guy in every fucking. And look at all of them. There's like pages of all the movies he's been in. He's just Latino gangster in all of them.
Cholo 2.
Talk about stereotypes, man. Jesus Christ.
But you've got to think, dude's made bank from being a cholo. Like,
definitely.
He's made bank from being a Latino guy. And he plays it well.
Gets to play a gangster without actually being one. He still gets paid like one.
And everyone will think he is, because everything anyone's ever seen him in, he's a gangster Latino guy. Yeah,
he's been named in one of these films. He's in Pocket Listening. Yeah. El Cabron. It's just Latino gives that vibe off.
Oh, he's having a great time here, like.
Bald Rob.
Having the attention. Oh, madness. But, yeah.
Bob Ross, did you just say?
Bald Rob. Like, everything's like Jose, Gangster Thug, Chino, and then it's Bald Rob.
Another good. I'm moving on from TV series.
The thing I wanted to get into is we skipped over it and we should have stayed on it, was the rugby compared to American football thing.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that.
I was meant to try and mention something about it after. You just high five again, Steve, bro. But I don't know why. I got, when you brought it up to me earlier on, it got me very heated in a way.
Well, go for it. Talk about it. You played rugby before.
See, now that I think about it, there's not much to say other than it's just wrong. Like, rugby's harder than American football.
Well, there was that kid that recently just switched over to American football from rugby. I don't know his name, but if that's your cue, by the way, Jake.
Yeah.
Look it up. He just went over to American football from rugby, but he was like the star man in rugby.
Okay.
And I don't know how he's done yet, if he's even played yet in American football. Okay. But he said he's just went over to try something new. I think he's only 22 or 23.
Oh yeah, okay.
I just wondered if you'd seen that.
Nah, do you know what? I haven't seen it.
What's your thoughts about him going from rugby to American football? Do you think he's thinking? He said it's a new challenge, but is it a harder challenge?
Yeah, well, it's something new in the sense of anything. Like, it's going to be something he's not done before. And as much as I personally think rugby's harder and there's more toughness to it, I think the training seems like in America, the training they get for American football seems to be pretty hardcore. Like, they make them lift, and I mean, they do that in rugby too, to be fair. So that's not. I didn't play professionally.
The tackling.
Well, see, this is the thing now. If you ask an American football player, an American footballer say the tackle padding does fuck all. If anything, it makes it hurt more because you're getting hit by plastic. But I don't believe it. Cat's just mid-jig shit himself and clawed his leg. Didn't just claw his leg randomly, by the way. He was going to fall off and he tried to keep a hold. That's why.
Vicious.
Oh yeah, you've seen him. Animal. Savage.
Found that player up for you.
What's his name?
Lee Reese Zammit.
Is he South African?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's just went over to American football, yeah.
So he's going to dominate because the tackles in American football, for me now, anyone that plays American football is probably going to fucking loathe me for saying it like this. But in American football, it's kind of just like throw yourself at them. Like it's like throw your body at him, and if you can get a hold. Whereas in rugby, you can't do that. You're not allowed to throw yourself at somebody. You have to have a meaningful connection, a hold. Like, you can't just like run into someone or else it's an illegal tackle. Yeah. Like, you have to actually tackle them. So I think for that, like, there's more skill in it in a sense. It's not just being a fucking bag of meat that you're launching at people. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're actually tackling. So there's more technique to not injure yourself. There's more commitment needed because if, like, our coach always said it, if you half-arse a tackle, that's when you hurt yourself. Like, if you go running into somebody and you then at the last minute go, I don't know, you'll get hurt. Whereas if you just go full commitment, you don't get hurt, and it's true. And I just think, like, say, American football, a lot of the time it's almost just like there are some guys that are literally on the team just because they're big, and their idea is just get in the way and don't let them hit this guy. You know what I mean? But you don't get that in rugby. Like, you can't get in the way. You're not allowed to get in the way of someone. Like, you can only tackle them if they have the ball. Do you know what I mean? So I think for that, it requires way more skill, and you're not wearing protection. So it's bone on bone smashing into each other. You know what I mean? There's a scrum where it's like
you're fighting for possession.
Honestly,
of the ball.
if you to understand how a scrum doesn't look that mental, but when you truly think about a scrum, right, you're interlocking your head and your shoulders with another guy, and then there's 3 people behind you and 3 people behind him, all shoving you into each other. Like, it sucks, bro. Like, if you bend if you bend your spine at all when you go in, you fucking hurt your back. Like, it kills because you just get folded. You know what I mean? And I played positions. I played flanker when I wasn't so fat. I played second row once I got taller, and I played mainly I was a prop because I was just a little fat guy, and then I played hooker for a little bit of time as well.
I bet you
did. Yeah, but my back end couldn't handle it. Talking about the rugby. So I've played like all the scrum positions, and the only one that doesn't really hurt is flanker because you're on the side. Like, flanker's on the side just pushing. But I just think relief. Like, if it gets too much, you just run away. It's just, I'm done with this. But I just think the tackling there's more technique to the tackling because there's no padding. The tackles hit harder. Like, it's just, I just think everything about it's more difficult. Like, say, you can only pass it backwards. Like, that's what I seen a video. I'll never be able to tell Jake to be able to find it, like, but I'll actually try and find it at some point, send you to it. And it was, they got guys over from America, from the UK, to play American football, and they were basically like, we can pass the ball forward though, and they were like, they just dominated. They like run around because they're like, we're used to having to do all this and we can only pass backwards. You're telling me that at any point I can just launch it to him over there? And they're like, he's like, gold, sold. And that's what they did. They're just fucking launching it about the pitch to each other. And like, because in American football, it's like throw, catch, tackle, down. Whereas they were being like, no, throw, spin off the tackle, throw at him, and he's in. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I just think it's better.
Seen it? Yeah, fair. Do you think if you were to get the top rugby team, like the best rugby team, like South Africa or something, to play at the top NFL team?
In what? In NFL? Like at American football? No, I think the American team beats them purely because of blocker size, like front row defense. Okay. Like rugby players aren't going to be used to playing that, so like, and there is technique to front row defense, like with your snap downs and like sliding bys to get past people and things like that, and the rugby players don't know that.
Yeah.
As for the like the gameplay, like when it's moving, I think the rugby players would decimate American footballers. Okay. Like the actual gameplay, like. Do you know what? Nah, I think they would, because I think rugby players would understand the front row issue, and they would just make sure it would be to the quarterback, go. Mm-hmm. Like, don't rely on this row, just get the ball to someone's fucking quick. And then in an American rugby player's mind, it doesn't matter who you get it to, because they can pass it to some other cunt.
Yeah.
Whereas an American footballer will go, I better run. Or they'll maybe go like this to pass it to each other, whereas a rugby player will catch it, he's going to tackle me. Won't he'll pass it to some other cunt. And he can pass it forward, which is mental.
Do you not think
the pace... Go on.
So, see for like the players jumping ship and going over for the NFL, not think another thing would be money.
Potentially, because rugby players don't get paid well.
Money in rugby.
They don't really get paid well here. They get paid good, but not nowhere near what an NFL football player will get paid.
Sense.
So that's probably good. Like as to upset American football players again, an easier time of it for more money.
Well, a lot of the articles are saying on the players that have jumped ship, they're just really basically saying just fancied the new challenge. It's easy. It's basically the way of saying like,
I want an easier go and more money. Fancy.
It's like when a player goes to a new club.
Yeah, like, do you think Cristiano Ronaldo called his new team in Saudi Arabia a new challenge? Yeah, but bro, it's not.
New challenge, you're looking at that fucking bank account every morning, man.
Exactly.
Hell.
I'm thinking like, I want to know how players that have went over have done.
Yeah, how they get on.
Yeah.
It's not really said anything on it.
Because there's probably not that many people that have done it.
It's been recent. It's just 2 players. That's all it's saying. Harry Hinfielder was the latest one.
The best thing you could do is do some research and find out what position they are. Like if they're say that if they're a back, like as in the guy running trying to score the tries, have they scored more points in American football or rugby?
Yeah.
And if they're a forward, which do they get more tackles in or get tackled less in, or so on and so forth?
I also feel like with the American football team they'll be faster. I just do. I think they'll have people on their team who will be faster.
I don't know, because in America there's people in rugby. There's people's and their job on the pitch is to catch and run.
I know, but I think there will be. I just think that American football teams will have faster players at their disposal.
Interesting, Jake. Right, here's one. Go and do a search. Go check what the fastest 100 meters is for an American footballer, and then check what the fastest 100 meter is for a rugby player. Out of interest, and see who's got. I know that doesn't give you a good scope for all of them.
Go for the average,
but yeah, put like American footballer average 100 meter dash, and then rugby player average 100 meter dash. Because I think you might be right, to be fair, because some of the American footballers are fucking rapid.
That's what I'm saying.
And they've got kit on, so if you took the kit off them, they'd be even faster.
But if you're playing American,
you're gonna have the kit on, I suppose. It's one of those things where I think. And I don't think it's because of players' capability. So this isn't me shitting on American footballers. I think it's just because the way the game is played. I think rugby players would dominate in American football, but American footballers would struggle in rugby.
They would really struggle.
But not because they're not capable, but because of the rules, because of the way it's played. Like how you play it is just
totally different.
Too much different. But it's almost like it transfers one way but not the other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the whole no passing forward, you have to keep passing it backwards. The idea is to not actually catch it and take a hit. It's to catch it and get, you know what I mean? Like that. Whereas rugby players being told basically, the idea is not to get hit, but keep hold of the ball and not get hit is an easier concept to be like, right, remember and pass more, pass to this guy, you have to do this, you have to go, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, American football, after that first pass, are they able to pass it again?
Yeah.
Are they actually?
Yes. I'm almost entirely sure, and they're allowed to pass it on a straight, are they allowed to pass it on a dead straight or a backwards? Are they allowed to pass it forward or something like that? They're definitely allowed to pass it again, because when I seen the rugby players playing it, that's what they were doing. Like the quarterback took it, threw it, and then they were like, oop, just like launching it to each other across the pitch. And then the guys, because they were committing all their, like, he's got the ball, everyone tackle him, and then they were going, okay, well, fuck it, throwing it to the other guy, and no one was on that guy because they weren't expecting him to throw it, so he was just off. You know what I mean? So they were all just thinking, get the guy that has the ball. So they were going, well, once that guy has the ball, fuck it off to someone at the other side of the pitch, and then no one's there.
You ready for these stats?
Yeah.
Go on.
So the fastest rugby player to be recorded is Trey Williams for the 100 metres at 10.10 seconds.
Okay.
What, but
So not 11 seconds? No, fucking sorry.
10 point.
And for the footballer,
10.04 seconds.
10.04.
So the American guy's just slightly faster.
Fucking cool.
Wait, is that a Welsh guy as well?
Yeah, it's Welsh.
A Welsh American footballer. Fair play. Doesn't count. He's British. Fuck him.
He probably started playing rugby.
Yeah, he probably played rugby first. That's why he's fast. Fuck. But yeah, nah. Yeah, I think not through any fault of their own. I just think because of the rules in the sports, to transfer from the rules of rugby to American football would be way easier than to try and get a grip of the rules going the other way. But then there is some rules in rugby that are just mental. Like there's so many rules and there's just so many of them. Like to do with advantages and to do with like points, things that happen in the scrum, things that happen in the throws. There's just little things that
intricate
are like
things,
little things that are like, oh, you can't do this little thing for some reason and stuff like that. And like there's certain ways, like even in the scrums and stuff, like you're not allowed to, you can't put your hand in to get the ball. But you can't even attempt it like from the side. So like if you are going over somebody, you can't go in and get the ball, but you can drive everything over the top of them and then collect the ball. Same as you can't come, like if someone gets tackled, the ball's there, you can't come in from the side and collect the ball. It has to be from your team's end and you have to press over the ball and then like stuff like that.
That's mental.
Yeah.
That's almost impossible to get the ball because you're coming in a mound of players.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Then the idea is like when you get tackled, your team need to get on you and over the top of you rapid and make a wall, basically like a head to floor, like ass in the air, head to the ground wall, so that even when their players come in, they have to drive you off of it first. And what you'll say that some of the football that I actually got fucking penalised in a game for it once because I was the one covering over the ball and the guy went to run into me and I just grabbed the back of his shirt and stepped at the way and dragged him forward and he went flying forward and like ate the dirt and I like that and I got in trouble for it because I'm not allowed to do that. He went to like I had been having I wasn't even having like a sidestep, but I'd been having like we'd been disagreeing the whole match, like in one of the scrums and he'd tried to like kick me in the nuts. So I was like prop, he was prop. And then the ref was at the other side and he swung his leg up and kicked me like in the groin, trying to kick me in the nuts from the thing. And then when he split the scrum, when the scrum split, he totally like ran away in the back. I was like, I'm gonna fuck you up, boy. And then next time I one of the boys got tackled. I went over the top and he came running in. And just as he came running in, he went to put his head down. So I just like didn't even step, just like pivoted and grabbed the back of his shirt and just dragged his face into the ground. And he just fucking ate the dirt and then like landed like behind me. And I was like, sorry, but then got in shit for it. Yeah, it was the same match. I got sent off. I got sin binned because I think it was the same guy. I jumped directly over the top of the scrum to tackle him when he picked up the ball at the back. Like, so there was like two of our guys and two of their guys in, like making like a ruck, and a ruck's just to protect the ball. And then I was waiting. I was standing at the other side of the ruck, and then the scrum half. No, this was a different game actually. This was a different thing. This was in was it Carnousties pitches? Can't remember. I can remember the pitches in my brain anyway. But this is a little scrum half, and he was a wee dickhead, and that was what happened. He stuck his hands in, and he pulled the ball, and as soon as I pulled the ball, I just jumped direct. You can ask my dad as well.
You're not allowed to jump over this?
No. Nah, but he was fucking me off. So I just like dived over it and just like crumbled, like folded him in half and landed on because I was big. And he was a scrum half. He was like the smallest guy on the team. Yeah. So I like dived clean over the top of him, just folded him in half, and then the ref was like, "That's legal. You're off." I was like, "Yeah, fair."
I played rugby for about a year and a half, 2 years, and never knew the rules. I was a winger. They threw the ball at me. I ran and
try and put it down over that line. That's all your job was.
I literally just avoided people, mate, and I was just because I was that quick.
Yeah. You were quick in school though, which was helpful.
Yeah, just rapid. That's when after I stopped playing rugby, that's when I had the really, really good years playing football because that was the fastest I ever was because of how much like taking the hits and like you actually are like forcing your legs to work a little bit harder in rugby.
Well, it's like obviously like a sort of form of weight training because you're not just running forward, you're running forward whilst driving someone else's way. Yeah, so it's much like more intense on your muscles.
Yeah. Like the next 3 years at football, like I was rapid. Rapid.
But you and Joe were always mad fast. Like even in football school, you two were always proper rapid. Always
faster than me when we were younger, and then as we got older, I think I became faster because he was doing it less. Yeah. But if he'd kept like as active at football as he would have been a lot faster than me.
It didn't help me as well the fact that I was fucking
not a lot.
I was faster. As slow as the K-man, eh? Like I was not a quick dude.
No, I always did well in the athletics, running, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did all right. What was the other?
Fat people on planes.
Man. That's a touchy subject, man.
It was another thing that I was getting annoyed about.
Yeah, you saw.
I really need to search that up. You know,
you could get some pictures of funny fat people on planes. Nah, do you know what it was? It was a video of this woman, and she was genuinely complaining about how like airplanes aren't like designed in a way that's good for fat people, and it was like a picture of her trying to get onto the airplane and she could barely fit down the aisle. And I'm like, see if you can actually like barely fit down the aisle, like that's not the airport's problem.
No,
like,
that's
your fault.
problem, yeah.
And it's like, regardless of what people say, like it's not hard to not be fat. Like I don't care what people. It's easy to lose weight. You just put less in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like that's all you have to do. And like people are like, oh, but what about all the exercise? But like a lot of time, exercise isn't even what makes you lose weight most of the time. Like they say, I don't know what the exact figures are, but it's like 75 to 80% of your daily calorie burned is just
walking,
being.
Oh.
Like it's you being, like all the functions that happen in your body, all the stuff that goes on. That's what burns most of the calories.
Also, if you're not getting up and being active, as in walking about, even just walking about doing stuff, your body isn't burning those calories.
But to put into perspective, right? So if
I sat on this couch the whole day, my watch would tell me you've burned fuck all today.
Right, so you would have to go for what is it? You would have to run consistently at an acceptable pace for an hour to burn 100 and what is it? I can't remember what it is. I literally read it the other day, but to burn basically like not enough calories, you'd have to run for like an hour.
But
do you know what I mean? So it's like
you also burn calories during the recovery.
Yes.
So when you stop running and
but that's body processes. That's not body.
But that only happens because you've went and done the run. If you were just to sit here and not do the run, you wouldn't get that extra. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't get that.
I get what you're saying, but no, that's not the case. Like your heart will beat faster, 100%. More energy required for your heartbeat because it's muscle function. So yeah, totally right on that. Then obviously repair. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, you're definitely right. Like you're gonna take the effort to like repair your body and stuff like that, but that's what is encompassed in this amount of calories. All that repair and all that is done is that 100 odd calories that you're burning. Like that's how they work it out. They don't work it out like as I'm running, I'm burning it right now.
Go on, if you look
this up. Is this the video you were on about?
Oh, I thought you'd looked up the stats.
It's not the stats, but
that one, but that looks like another fat person moaning about flying on planes.
I thought you looked up the stats.
Yeah, no, sorry. Like I said, you're wrong about it. I'm not meaning you're wrong about that. Like, yeah, you're right. You are going to burn more calories doing it, but not enough to warrant the amount of effort you'd have to put in to be burning those calories.
Plus, you're telling people not to go for a run.
No, I'm not telling people not to go for a run. I'm telling you to go for a run, but also put less in your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but running, mate, is not for your running is for your heart health. Running is for cardio. It's not good for fat loss.
I'm thinking, like,
you'd be better swimming
to this podcast going, oh, this guy's just telling me just to stop eating.
You know
what I mean? And I'll lose all my weight.
Yep.
But you won't lose all your weight if you just stop eating.
You actually absolutely will.
No, you'll end up just
if you eat less, right?
Unhealthy.
If you're doing something
very
right,
unhealthy.
It would be easier. Like you would lose weight a lot faster, for example, if you didn't do any more exercise and just ate less than if you ate the same and did more exercise. You would lose the weight way faster if you didn't do the exercise and just ate less instead.
Okay.
And that is something you can Google that to your heart's content.
No, that's
how
just
that
common
works.
sense.
Because you've got to think, if your average female intake is 2,000 calories
female
a day.
intake.
Well, okay, male intake we'll go with then. It's just because females easier to calculate because it's 2,000 rather than 2,500. It's easier to do the maths. Okay. But we'll go for males then. 2,500 calories a day, say. If you're, say, 75 to 80% of that is your working calories from the day, what your body burns off by itself, right? That means, like, that's... I don't even know how to do the maths now because you're making it hard for me. But, like, say 2,000 calories a day you burn just being alive. That means the rest of it, like, is just the 500 calories. It's from everything else you're doing. All of the moving around, all of doing this, all your exercise you're going, like, that's only burning that amount, whereas being alive burns 2,000 calories. So the best thing that you're meant to do is do more of being alive. And it's like, if you, like, walk more places, walk to work, walk up the stairs. And yeah, that's more exercise, but it's not going to the gym to do more exercise.
No,
this is what I'm saying. So
exercise doesn't have to.
So if you say to somebody, like, if you're somebody, say you want to lose weight, walk to the shop instead of drive.
This is my point.
Fair.
Exercise doesn't have to be going to the gym. Like I told you earlier off camera. My dad's.
But again, Google, Jake, quickly, just while he's doing this, go and Google how many calories you burn if you go for an hour-long run. Carry on.
Yeah, I was telling you off camera. Mum and Dad are going through trying to lose weight for my brother's wedding coming up. And they're going on like mad walks and that now. and you can already see the difference in them.
Yeah,
purely by going and doing that.
Are they eating in a calorie deficit as well?
But they have been for years, mate. Mum and dad have been dieting for years.
Not right. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Not to offend them. They're not doing it the right way.
They're
not doing it the right way. They're doing it wrong. And the problem is they'll either be doing that and then they'll eat nothing, and then the weekend comes, they'll be fed up and they'll snack on the weekend and they'll take all the calories they didn't eat during the week. Because it's not a daily thing, calorie counting. You're better working it weekly as your weekly calorie tolerance. Because most people, that's what they do. That's the biggest problem. People go, okay, so Monday to Friday, I'm only going to consume 1,500 calories. And then the weekend, they consume 5,000 calories each day. And they go, but I didn't eat all that during the week. But it's because your calorie intake mean for the week is still higher. So you're still fucking yourself. And what is this you're saying?
So it's a wee bit off, but £150 person running at a 10-minute pace for 60
10-minute
minutes
mile pace.
Yeah.
would burn 700 calories, roughly, about
So an hour of constantly running full pace is 700. I don't think that figure's right, but even if that's high, but even if that is right, 700 calories to run non-stop at 10-minute mile pace, which is fast, by the way, for
that's on top of
1 hour.
280.
That's on top of your, like, that would then be on top of your, like, everyday calorie. Yes, so that's adding, like...
Yeah, but then what I'm saying is, right, so you could spend an hour running, right? And let's be real, you're not going to spend an hour running. Like, you're just not. Like, people are not going to do that. Yeah, half hour. So 350 calories. Just don't eat that chocolate bar that probably is 350 calories.
You're about 280 to 520 for a half hour, like, casual run.
So there you go. 280 calories if you bust your ass for half an hour. Or don't eat that fucking 3 digestive biscuits you were going to eat. That's way easier than spending half an hour busting your ass running. Do you know what I mean? Like, running is not for fat loss. It's for cardiac. It's for heart health benefit. Yeah, anything weightlifting. If you want to lose weight, is what you should do. You should lift weights and eat less. 100%.
Find the balance.
Yeah.
It's like anything in life. Find the balance.
Yeah.
Stop being a fat bastard and eating all the chocolate.
Cheers,
Guru. Or if you want to be fatter, just fucking eat shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to lose weight, rather than thinking I better go and exercise, I better go and do this. Like, yes, do that, but that's for health. But if you want to lose weight, eat less.
If you want to be fat, and like,
no one wants to be fat.
No, I'm not. Well, some people.
No, they don't.
Fair, but people get to that situation where they are fat, right? You can't then go and complain about the world not being, like, if you are that big that you cannot get on an aeroplane.
Yeah, that's your problem.
It's your problem, right? It's not the world's problem to then make everything XL size so you can fit in it. Yeah? The average human and the majority of the population, like 99.9% of it, can fit in a fucking airplane.
It's where the fact that,
you can't fit down the corridor in the door, and you take up.
Crazy when you say that out loud. There, if you cannot fit in a plane, mate.
Yeah, she couldn't slide down the air.
If you can't sit in all, if you have to take up 3 seats to sit on an airplane, right? There's something that's fucking wrong, and I don't care if that hurts somebody. Right, that you need to take a look and go. That's not the world's problem. That's my problem. Yeah, if I can't, I'm taking 2 seats away from somebody else who could have been on this flight. And
people that say that they're happy and fine with it, they're lying. Like, because I was that guy. When I used to be mad fat when I was younger, and I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Pure greeting when I get home because I'm disgusting. You know what I mean? Like that's. It's like, no, you should laugh because people laugh at me is why I lost weight. Like, if nobody bullied me, I'd still be fat and miserable.
I never bullied.
In an encouraging way from your friends. Like, see if Steve used to be like, you fat bastard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you did.
No, at the age I moaned about it, and I went, if
definitely did.
Did you find it encouraging? Like,
not until I got a little bit more mature. As a kid, I just bitched and moaned about it and went, people are bullying me and call me fat. Right. But then what that means is, that caused me when I got older, and I eventually got some brain, and I went, here, they're actually calling me fat because I'm pretty fat. And it's actually pretty rough. And then it's like, oh, regardless of how I look, it's actually super bad for my health too. Like, I'm just going to die sooner than everyone else. So it was like, I actually need to pull my finger out. And then that's what I was like, I better lose some fucking weight. Like, it's tedious glorifying, like, being unhealthy.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, you can't be like.
That goes on to a good point. I also don't like glorifying being unhealthy. Whereas to the point where now supermodels are like. Don't get me wrong, beautiful. I wasn't fucking a fan of supermodels anyway, with them being that skinny, and I wasn't a fan of that anyway.
But I like thick bitches, but not fat ones. Like,
you know that bad bitch? Is it bad bitch that went viral not long ago?
Yeah, that girl on the runway.
Like, come on, like, she is huge.
Right?
I've not got any issues, but she's like, I'm going to take your man.
But you can't just glorify it and say this is like beautiful and amazing, because it's unhealthy.
I think Andrew Schultz,
you're encouraging other women to be young. I can just get that big and be sassy, and
no one can say anything bad about me because I'll get upset about it. But it's like, well, you've just been lazy for your life.
Yes, your choices. Why does everybody else have to tiptoe around your life choices to be like that?
Is it not Andrew Schultz that says a bit where he says that there's nothing that pisses him off more than fat models, because he's like, everyone else that has a job, they have to have a skill to get a job. Like a model, they go to the gym so their body looks good to be getting the job. Like an engineer will go through,
models being that skinny.
An engineer will go through like years of training to get the percent. No, but I don't think models should be skinny. They should just be realistically, like, they should be a healthy build.
His point about,
but to then be a fat one, they've basically just gone, you can do this even though you've done nothing to be good at it. You've gotten no acquirable skills. You've put in zero effort. You've just shoved food in your mouth and then said to people, you can't be annoyed at me for it though. You have to think I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I think you're hideous. Like, I think you're not. So.
And everyone has a preference.
Yeah.
So some
and people think I'm hideous, but I just don't give a fuck. Like, at the end of the day, like, I just think I'm marvelous. At the end of the day, like. You can't, like, if you're fat, be fat. I don't give a fuck, but don't be like telling people you must be okay.
Don't make it everybody else's problem.
And but it's healthy. It's big and beautiful. It's not. It's you're gonna die earlier, and it's like it's not good for you.
Yeah.
So,
well, as always, we end this podcast on a good note. I love it. We're always about positivity and having a good time.
I'm going through some changes that have got me quite stressed out now, so that's why I'm getting all angry all the time.
Yeah, Kay's going through all the mad keto stuff and all that.
There's some things that there's a few different things that I'm not allowing myself to have, shall we say, I have been over the last few weeks. So I am very, very stressed. So if you are one of these people that have taken offense by what I've said, I don't give a fuck.
I knew that was coming so much. I knew it was coming. And on that note, we'll leave this podcast where it is. Cheers, guys, for joining us in this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.